How you guys doing? Good, good, good.
Well, it's a good sign you're back to practice.
Yeah, great sign, great sign. We go see, we go see. See come game day.
How's everything
Feeling good,
this week?
feeling good. Just excited to be around the guys, excited to be with the team. So that's the best part. That's what I enjoy, just the camaraderie and being around my guys, being around the team.
How hard was it for you to be out these two games, especially knowing they were both losses?
Man, it was tough. It was tough. We definitely wanted those wins and needed those wins, but hey, we gotta continue to push forward and find a way to get a win each week.
There was a news item just a few minutes ago that Trevor Lawrence practiced. So, are you guys prepared if he plays?
Yeah, I think we're preparing for him to play. He's a great quarterback, great for that team, and their entire team brings a challenge to us, and we just gotta be ready to face that.
Denzel, do you know how you got hurt? Did that one tackle where you came up and your helmet came off?
No, it wasn't that play.
Wasn't that
No,
it's
no,
not
it was earlier in the game. Yeah.
But you were able to finish, but then it just
Yeah, it was kind of bugging me throughout the game, but it was bearable. I was able to push through it, and yeah, it was earlier in the game.
Seems to be the year of the shoulder injury inside this room, doesn't it?
Man, I know it's crazy. Wish that wasn't the case, but I mean that's this game. Injuries happen. Every year is going to happen. That's the worst part of this game, but stuff happens. Got to fight through it. Find a way to still get a win each week.
Was it on an attempted tackle? On a tackle?
Yeah, yep.
What makes Trevor so good?
Oh man, he's able to make any pass on the field. Got a very strong arm. Goes through his progressions. You got playmakers on that side of the ball, but he's just a high caliber quarterback in this league, able to make every throw, and he's a good quarterback back there.
what stands out about Ridley?
Yeah, got quick twitch, great route runner, good hands, a playmaker for those guys. So he's going to present a threat for us that we're going to are up for the challenge and able to take care of him.
What does this defense have to do to get back on track?
Yeah, I mean, we just got we don't have to do nothing out the ordinary, just be us. Like I said, we put a lot of great tape out there on film. We got the ability to be elite defense in this league, and we just got to play to who we are. Got to play fast, got to play with that swag out there, and play complementary ball. So I think we'll get back to who we are and help our offense out, help special teams, and help this team win.
Denzel, this is obviously December. It's the make or break time of the year for teams that are competing for playoff spots. How much can you draw from the 2020 season? I know it was real abnormal with the COVID protocols and stuff like that, but can that experience of what you guys went through help you this time around as you go through another playoff chase here?
Yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, every year you're going to be faced with a lot of adversity, and just got to try to find ways to overcome it and ultimately find a way to get a win. That's always the goal. Each week is to go 1-0 and get a win. And but yeah, just find a way to overcome that adversity. But I think we're capable of doing that.
Denzel, it looked like last thing that I saw, PFF had you as like the number one ranked corner in single coverage at like a 26.3 passer rating against. I think it was. Do you feel like you're having your best season in single coverage like that?
I do, honestly. I feel like I am having one of my better seasons, definitely in man-to-man coverage. But I count that to Coach Schwartz, my position coaches, and the D-line being able to get a lot of pressure on the quarterbacks and the back end. We've been playing a great complementary ball when I've been out there, and they've been doing a great job helping me out and putting me in great positions to make plays on the ball and just be in great position, really. So I feel I have been doing pretty well in that aspect, but a lot goes into that and how I'm able to get necessarily one of the best man-to-man coverages that rushes. They're putting a lot of pressure on that quarterback, making them get that ball out pretty quick. So I don't have to cover too long back there.
Obviously, this is the ultimate team game. Back-to-back losses with you out, the defense having a little bit of struggles. How much pride do you take in being able to give them a boost, when you get back out there?
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in that. I try to be that spark and be that big energy and playmaking guy out there as best as I can, and doing whatever I can to help my team win. So it's been hard for me and hurting just being out for my guys. I want to be there. So just feeling like I've been kind of letting them down. But just trying to fight to get back out there with those guys, that's the goal. But just try to do my best I can and be myself and help this team win.
Denzel, you've had a few concussions. You had the shoulder injury just now. At this stage of your career, what is your attitude about the way you play? You're not going to change anything. The way you play, the way you tackle, the way you.
Man, I feel I'm a playmaking corner, and I feel like my team needs me, and I need myself. I need this game. I love playing this game, and injuries are going to happen. Stuff is going to happen. Like I said, I had a few concussions, but I'm not too worried about that. Like, I did my research and everything on that, and overcome those. And it hurt my shoulder a little bit, but that's just how the game goes sometimes. You just gotta try to find a way to continue to stay on top of my body and everything. And once maybe I do go out, get back as fast as I can and get back out there. But it's definitely not gonna affect the way I play the game. I feel like when I'm out there, I just do what I can to help my team win, and that's playing fast and physical and being who I am.
When you say you feel like you've been letting the team down, why would you feel that way when you're obviously out with a shoulder injury that you can't do anything about it, and you have been fighting so hard to get back? Why do you feel that way?
Yeah, I just want to be out there with my guys. That's it. I know the team needs me, and I just want to be out there with them, out there fighting with them and trying to fight for the playoffs. So that's the biggest thing when I say I feel like I'm kind of letting them down. Even though stuff happened, that's life. Things are going to happen, and you're going to be faced with situations where you may be out and may not be able to do certain things, but just trying to be the best me I could be. And if I'm out, being a great coach on the sideline and help those guys out as best as I can. But I know for me personally in this situation, it's best for me to be out on that field than on the sideline as a coach.
Denzel, a follow-up on what you said about dealing with injuries throughout your career. When you're out there, we know that you play at a Pro Bowl level, but it has been something you have to repeatedly overcome and come back and come back. What keeps you going? What keeps your head up when you're dealing with that over and over and over?
Yeah, I understand that injuries are going to happen, stuff is going to happen. That's football. I think I'll just compare it to life. Everything's not going to be perfect in life, and things are going to happen, but it's about how you respond and how you overcome it. So I take a lot of pride in being able to fight back, and regardless of the circumstance, being able to come back and execute at a high level of play, and still doing my job. So that's life. Stuff is going to happen in life, but just being able to overcome.
I heard in the beginning that it may have been something to do with your labrum. Was it something sort of structural that you've been dealing with?
I'm not going to disclose any sort of injuries or that. So, but I'm feeling a lot better, and just looking forward to get back with the guys. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Joe, do you feel like this week you have a better handle of everything now that you've played a game, kind of gone through that experience and gotten that out of your system?
I think I had that first week that I was here where I wasn't, active at all to kind of break myself in. So every week kind of gets you a little bit more comfortable. But I don't really think it's necessarily the process. I think it's just kind of now getting with the individual guys and getting a feel for, the little details more so than the big picture plan.
Is there an area where you look at the first game and say, this is where you could take a jump in the second game?
Yeah. Listen, in the first game, it was really not a very physical game for me. I think our offensive line did a great job. I think there was just times where, I threw the ball away, which is good. But at the same time, I felt like there was a couple different times that maybe, I could have moved, maybe drugged the play out a little bit more, did certain things like that. And then there were a couple plays where it was just like the little details of whatever that play may have been. There may have been 2 or 3 plays where, that kind of, I lost it for a second, and we didn't do, we threw an incompletion or whatever. So, those were probably 2 areas that I can get a little bit better.
It seems like the time away affected your decisions more than anything physical.
Well, like I said, I think it was a very easy first game in terms of the physicality for me. So I don't know if it's like a great measure of how my body's necessarily going to react to the physical nature of it. But I mean, I know that I'm not in my 20s anymore, but 38 isn't super old in the real world. So I feel like I've done a good job of keeping myself in shape. But anytime you go and step on that field, and any year really for a quarterback, it's kind of week to week how your body feels physically, just because you're not in the middle of the line banging heads every single play. It really comes down to how many times did you get, did you land on that ground. And
I can't imagine just throwing the ball and executing play fakes. I mean, that was not a problem.
No, I made sure I kept my arm in good enough shape, and all that other stuff. There's definitely an element to it that's like riding a bike. You just get back out there and start doing it.
You're telling us now training camp is completely overrated, right? You come right off the couch and do what you got to do.
Listen, there's definitely parts of training camp I enjoy, and there's definitely parts of training camp that I can't say I was too disappointed on missing out on. I'm sure a lot of veterans will probably tell you, oh, we don't need training camp, let's just start the season. But there's more to it than that. I don't think this is ideal. I think you definitely like to, kind of rev up a little bit and get yourself going.
I was asking Kevin and Alex how sharp you were on all the little nuances and the play action, hand position, all that stuff. Did that stuff all come back naturally, or is that stuff you really needed to work on this week to get ready?
I think how I do it, it comes back naturally for the most part. You don't realize how much of that stuff is also reliant on the back and the line firing off and the back rolling over and making sure that he's, as wide as he needs to be or as tight as he needs to be. And then obviously with each different coaching staff, they have little different nuances on how they do those things and how it sets up this play versus that play. So, like I said, the way I've done it, yeah, it comes back pretty naturally, but there's always a little bit of different ways that coaches coach it that I need to get up to speed a little bit on.
And Joe, you played in Cleveland a lot in your career. Is this place more difficult than others in bad weather? Because you guys did face some bad weather here on Sunday.
I think when you play in this division, which I have most of my career, you just have to get used to the fact that that's going to be the case. Both teams have to deal with it, and I don't think anybody, I don't care how long and how much you tell yourself that you love playing in this kind of stuff and try to convince yourself that you can do it. I don't think anybody loves it, but you get used to doing it, and you have your ways. I mean, I remember back in the day, coaches made you wear the long studs, and fields have gotten better over the last 15 years, but that's still a factor. You can see out in the practice field, like you want to be able to have guys. I would think more so than the ball and all that, it's footing. And it's getting guys' feet in the ground so that they can confidently run routes and put their feet in the ground.
Joe, it's been a while since you were with the team in the thick of the playoff chase. So what do you feel about that and the responsibility now that's on your shoulders at least game to game?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Is that invigorating or daunting or what?
Yeah, listen, it's invigorating for sure. It's exciting. This is what you want. There's always things, like when you're sitting by yourself and you're running through things in your head, there's always things that you're going to think about, and that's why it is so important, and you always hear people say, just stay in the moment, be where you are, and that's the biggest, that's one of the biggest challenges for probably professional athletes, is to try to stay in the moment as much as you can and just worry about today, doing this interview, after this, going and taking care of my body and going into the meeting room. And if you let your mind wander 5 days from now, 4 days from now, 3 days from now, you're just doing yourself such a disservice, and more importantly, you're doing your team a disservice, because you don't want to think about outcomes. You want to think about doing your job and everybody else doing their job side by side and letting everything else take care of itself.
Amari Cooper still in the concussion protocol. How much are you, really hoping he can rally and get out there and help you guys out this weekend?
Yeah, I think we talked a little bit after the game about him. He's a special player. He definitely pops off the screen at you, and just the way he runs his routes and catches the football. So I'm really rooting for him to get out there and help his team out. He's a big deal.
Joe, you completed passes, I think, to 9 different receivers. But just, stepping in here, what have you learned about this group of receivers, and how challenging is it for you having to learn that volume of guys and just maybe the different ways they like catching footballs? I
think for me, ultimately, when it gets to game day, I'm able to kind of put that stuff aside and just go play in rhythm and trust the fact that those guys are going to be in the spot they are, and not stress about the fact that I haven't thrown to them for a ton of time. The thing I've learned about these guys so far is that they put their head down and they work, and they're a great receiving group in that way. Just wanting to get extra throws, and then when we're at practice, just committing to what we're doing and going out there and working hard at doing it. I think it's a really well-led group. They seem to be mature, and even though there's a handful of young guys in there, so I really just like the way they work and approach the day.
So other than Ben, you have more wins in this stadium than any opposing quarterback. So you're aware of that, I'm sure. You could pad that figure.
Well, yeah. Hopefully, we can get another one this weekend, and see what happens here.
Joe, you targeted Elijah.
Obviously, go ahead, Coach.
You and Elijah obviously had a relationship prior to you getting here, and on Sunday, you targeted him like 12 times. Was that just sort of in the flow, or how much,
Yeah, it was. Listen, I think when Amari goes down and he gets put in that position, you're going to be put in some spots where you have individuals, and if you're one-on-one, you're going to be the guy that's called on. So, yeah, it wasn't like I was going out and targeting Elijah because my kids said, hey, in New York, he was awesome, and you got to keep throwing to him. It's just kind of where it took me, and,
Joe, we remember your field today, Joe, with being such a legend, an MVP level quarterback. 6'6". Or do we get to see any rollout plays? Are you running too? Are we gonna see any of that?
I don't know.
Joe, I want to ask you about Trevor Lawrence's practice today in Jacksonville. So he returned to practice. What is it? Does that kind of ratchet up the intensity of the game a little bit, knowing that you might be going up against one of the best quarterbacks right now in the NFL?
Well, like I said, you can't look forward to that. You have to stay in the moment. But credit to him. I mean, listen, this league's about being tough and showing up for your team on Sundays. So if that's what he's trying to do and getting out there, and this is one of those steps is going out there and practicing today. And so that's all I would say is it's a credit to him being able to get back out there and show up for his team.
Joe, we remember saying in the moment, how long did it take for him to understand in the moment having a match? And that he had a chance to maybe pass on a knowledge that's anything previous on his team?
I don't know. I think there's probably times early on where you were able to do it really well and times where you just weren't. It's not, it's something that you constantly have to be on. And it's just part of that mental game and having that kind of routine that you go throughout the week that keeps you on track. If you don't have a routine, then you're always going to kind of be floating around.
So we remember your last trip to Brown Stadium, right, with the Jets. But you were here so many times with the Ravens. What stands out about, are there some memories from those trips that really stand out to you?
I'm trying to think. I remember my rookie year here for whatever reason. Listen, the thing that playing in this division and coming here, it's not an indoor stadium. It's an old school, not an old school obviously, but it's a grass field outdoors. You feel the city of Cleveland. You usually have some kind of weather, so you know where you are. And I don't know, it's definitely, that's the way you like it. You smell the grass. It just feels like football. And that's kind of this whole division is like that to a certain extent. So I don't know. That's kind of always the stadiums that have kind of attracted been attractive to myself is like when you can go out there and, like I said, smell the grass and feel like it's football weather. And that's the time of the year we're in. We're in December and we're in Cleveland, and it should be a lot of fun.
What kind of reviews did you get? What kind of reviews did you get from the 5 children?
Not good. I think they had a good time, but they just dwell on all the bad stuff. So it's another test that I have to just get over mentally in dealing with those guys. So.
Thank you,
Yep.
Joe.
What did you think of Trevor's injury when you first?
I know. Man of the year, Ed Block Courage Award, AWOC's the man. Shout out. I know. That's why I'm here today. State my case.
You're trying to hold him off?
Yeah, exactly.
What did you say to AWOC after he was nominated?
Oh, I was very happy for him. I mean, since he's been here, he's done so much in our community. Just the type of guy he is in the locker room, the leader he is. I would just say it's a big time award. Congrats, and hopefully he gets some votes, out there as well.
Joe, what's it been like with Joe the last couple of weeks, and kind of getting to know him, and then finally getting to see him in a game in the huddle, how he handled all of that?
Yeah, it's been good. Very calm. I think he's seen it all. Lot of experience, and I think he's picked up on the offense very quickly. Understands what he needs to do, and there was never really a doubt in the huddle. He was confident, had the play calls in and out, knew our cadences. All that stuff was very good. So a lot of things that you do when you get used to a new quarterback, he kind of had down already. So it's been a good transition. He's a good guy. It's easy to talk to, all that stuff. So it's you see him. You play against him so many years. He plays for Baltimore. He's been around the league. And you get to meet him, and you don't really truly know a guy until you're in the locker room with him.
Was it weird for you? Did you ever think you would be playing with Joe?
No, I mean, it is definitely a little bit weird. Like, you see some of these quarterbacks, and like, even when I was coming up, you play against like a Tom Brady or Peyton Manning, you're like, all right, when I was a kid, these guys were like doing big things, and this guy, I came in the league and we're playing against Baltimore. He's, won Super Bowls with them and stuff. And so, no, you don't think you're going to play, but it's been good.
As a veteran, is he the case study of training camp is completely overrated?
Yeah, maybe I think some guys need to hit a little bit, get some position work in, but he said he was throwing with his brother, so he's been ready to go, and hopefully we keep him from not getting hit too much, and that way he can, stay healthy and rolling out there.
Yeah, he did mention that he was appreciative. The game wasn't very physical for him, but does a guy like him who's the traditional drop back style quarterback, that make your guys' jobs a little easier up front?
I wouldn't say easier. I think our quarterbacks that have played this year have given us big play opportunities and stuff. We just kind of know Joe's going to be in the pocket for most of the time, and he's going to have some pocket movement. We're probably not going to see him scramble around a little bit back there, but we're ready for anything.
Speaking of Jacksonville's defensive line, I know the edge guys are kind of where it starts, but overall that group and the challenge they present.
Yeah, they're very experienced. They're big. I think they kind of go into that like Pittsburgh, Baltimore style of like, hey, we want big guys that are going to take up gaps. And they're a little bit different because they're not really two gappers. They're kind of penetrating a little bit more. But all of them are pretty talented, and I mean, if you look at them against the run, I think they're the best team in the league against the run right now, or one of the best teams. And they've gotten after the passer really well too. They have a good blitz scheme. It's definitely a tough challenge up front, but a lot of respect for them. And I think they have depth as well, and so they go out there and they all play hard and they kind of rotate and get guys in there.
The running game, especially like in the first half last week, it wasn't like up to your guys' normal standard. So what do you have to do to make that more consistent?
Yeah, we got to eliminate the negative plays. I think if you go out there and you have, I think at one point we had like 3 or 4 negative runs in the first half, and those just hurt you. Instead of, even if we can turn those into 2-yard, 3-yard gains, you're still going to have a chance to produce. And I think when you have these negative runs, it dissuades the play caller from calling more runs. So we have to be positive. We have to be on our details and understanding the assignments. The plays were out there last week. It just really comes down to executing the assignment.
It's not every December 10th when you guys have been in the playoff race. What does this mean to you this year, considering all the obstacles since week 1 or 2 that we talked about?
Yeah, it's been good. Guys have been resilient this year. We wanted our team to be as healthy as possible, and we've had some unfortunate injuries to some very important pieces, but to guys' credits, they've stepped up, and we talk about playing good football in December allows you to keep playing in January, and that's really our goal. So we got an AFC battle this week with a team that's leading their division. It's a huge one. We got to try and find a way to go 1-0 this week and keep that momentum going.
And they're unbeaten on the road. What does that tell you about them?
It's impressive. They've done a good job going on the road and beating some good teams, and it's going to be a challenge. You know, we've seen them, and we understand they've had some very, very quality wins this year. So it'll be a big challenge for us.
Joel, I know you watching that game on Monday night when Lawrence got hurt.
Well, yeah, I was watching a little bit of the first half, and then I went to bed, so I didn't see when he got hurt.
I know it's been a couple of years, but can you guys draw on that 2020 playoff run? I get it. It was a weird year, but the fact that you guys were you were able to win meaningful games that year, and you're in it this year.
Yeah, I think 2020 actually has some correlations in the resilient factor because it was so weird with COVID. You know, there were so many different tests and days we couldn't practice, and things got moved, and the schedule got moved, and guys were just like focused on the task at hand. And we've kind of tried to take that approach this year. And I know we have a lot of new guys from there, but I think that approach is this very similar approach to this year, and trying to find a way to go 1-0 this week, no matter what is happening around us.
Joel, it seemed like Joe was completely in control, like just had control of the offense, knew what he was doing. How impressive is that to come in just and seemingly know what looked like he'd been there for the whole year? Yeah,
it was very good. I think it shows his experience, shows his work ethic. I know his 5 kids are at home right now, so he has a little bit more free time. But no, it's a testament to him. You know, we were in LA, and he had a chance to really study the playbook, and even that first week when he wasn't going to play, I think you're just jumping into the book, and the coaches do a good job of telling him, like, hey, this is our plan, this is what we want to do. And it's a testament to him and his experience in this league.
Did you have to pare it down at all, or was it pretty much?
No, it felt very normal. I don't know all the passing routes and stuff like that, but the run game and the protections and stuff was all very very normal.
Joel, does it help at all to be back at home now and try and bounce back from losing 2 games on the road like that?
Yeah, we love our home crowd. I think they bring a great energy. It's been fun playing, down there this year. We got a little weather possibly this weekend, just the way we like it. So it'll be good, But no, the home crowd is great, and getting back home after that long West Coast trip is good. I think the energy will be good this weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Joel.